Chapter 11. Bury your head, take cover. It was very hot the summer that I turned 6 years old. Weeks on end, the weather kept changing. First it would rain. After the rain, the air was cool for a little while, but then got very sticky and even hotter shortly afterwards. Then the dusty winds blew for several days in a row and dried everything out. It was hard for me to breathe. To make matters worse, my sister Phyllis and I had the measles that summer. We were both really feeling sick. Mama tried to help us feel better by feeding us oatmeal and toast or chicken noodle soup with crackers. During the day, Mama suggested, "Why don't you lay on the divan in the living room, Donnis? Try to keep your head up part of the time. It will make you feel better." Mama had to help me sit up while I ate. I was so weak. But mostly, I just wanted to sleep. Late one night, I woke up while Daddy was carrying me into the bathroom. He was in a hurry, almost running, holding me close. I could hear the wind howling outside and around the corners of our little house on Adams Street in Cheney. Suddenly, I saw a big white streak make a zigzag across the sky. To me, it looked like it was right outside our window. A black curtain of rain fell from the clouds and hung there, hiding the sky behind it. Then a loud crash of thunder came. I put my hands over my ears to block out the horrible sound. Over and over, the lightning flashed bright and thunder crashed loud. "What is it, Daddy? What's making that horrible noise?" I asked. "Hush, Donnie girl. We will all be okay. We just need to stay together and get something over our heads," Daddy soothed. Daddy carried me into the bathroom and set me gently on pillows that Mama had thrown into the bottom of the bathtub. "Why are there pillows in the bathtub?" I asked. "What are we doing here?" Phyllis wanted to know. "Hush, girls," Mama replied. "We just need to stay in here for a little while." Phyllis began to cry. Mama left the bathroom, but came back in just a little while later, carrying baby Lonetta. Daddy followed right after her with Tommy in his arms. Tommy didn't even wake up when Daddy pulled him out of the bunk beds we kids all shared on the back porch. We were all in the bathroom together, crouched down on the pillows inside the bathtub. Daddy made one more trip to the bedroom to snatch the big mattress from off their bed and drag it to the bathroom. He pulled it over all of us. Mama held the mattress in place over our heads. I was really scared. I did not know why we were hunkering down there in the bathtub and under a mattress. Josie the cat we brought home from the old farmhouse wriggled her way under the mattress with us. "What's wrong, Mama?" I cried. "Hush, honey. We will be okay. Daddy is watching out for us," Mama replied. Phyllis was still crying. The noise woke Tommy, and he began to cry too. Lonetta just looked from Phyllis to Tommy, and then to me and Mama. Her eyes were big and round. Phyllis squeezed her eyes closed. Her face was screwed up tight, and she continued to whimper. We were all so scared. Everything outside that bathtub was so loud. Mama began to sing to soothe us. But even as Mama sang, I was old enough to tell that she and Daddy were scared too. The little black and white television was on in the living room. Daddy turned the volume up real loud so Mama could hear it from the bathroom. Daddy kept going outside and looking up into the sky. When he came back in, his hair was all blown messy around his head and his shirt twisted around his body. The lightning kept flashing and the thunder kept crashing. It seemed as if the wind would never quit blowing. It whistled around the little house and rattled the window panes. All the while, Daddy kept going outside, then into the living room to watch the television, and then back into the bathroom to check on Mama and us kids. It seemed to me as if my family huddled there in the bathroom for a very long time. Tommy and Lonetta went back to sleep. Finally, the wind died down and stopped blowing. The sky wasn't as angry as it had been before, and it was still nighttime. At long last it was over, and Mama and Daddy led us out of the bathroom and back to our bunk beds. I could still hear the sound from the television set in the living room. I knew it was turned to a news station. As they watched the news report, Daddy exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, it sounds like that wind blew Udall completely away." I work with a guy out at Boeing who has a home there. I hope his family is okay. Mama soothed. "Hush now, Max. There's nothing that can be done tonight. Let's get some sleep and we'll look at it again tomorrow morning." I didn't know what Udall was, but as I lay there in my bed, my eyes became heavy and soon I was fast asleep. When I woke up the next morning, Daddy had already gone to work. I lay on the couch in the living room, still not feeling very well. Mama said I could not go out to play. I would have to wait one more day. The television was on, but Mama had told me several times not to watch because it would hurt my eyes. I was so sad and wanted to obey Mama, but I couldn't help myself. I had to watch. Every few minutes, the regular program would be stopped and a young man, a reporter, would appear. He gave an update on the tornado that struck the town of Udall. He was standing in a street right in the middle of town. I could see behind him where buildings had been smashed. I saw trees in the background. Their trunks were twisted and the tops were completely gone. I was mesmerized by the pictures and what the reporter was saying. He said, "At 10:35 last night, May 25th, 1955, a deadly tornado struck Udall, Kansas, leveling most of the town. According to the city's barber, Henry Norris, an all clear was given on the 10 o'clock news. There was no warning from the National Weather Service to alert the citizens about the danger that was headed their way. The Red Cross is here, along with the Sumner County coroner. An early report says there are dozens of people dead and even more injured. The county sheriff is asking everyone who is not directly affected by this storm to please stay away as rescue and retrieval efforts are being implemented. It appears that there isn't a building within the city limits that has been left untouched by this monster storm. We are standing here in front of what remains of the grade school. Across the street, we can see what had been the new high school building. Udall is a small town, and from here to the middle of town, nothing remains. We can see that the grain elevator is demolished. City Hall is gone from off its foundations, and 3 church buildings have been leveled. The water tower has been knocked over, and the streets were flooded last night for a while. We can also see 3 cars smashed into trees. This storm laid waste to Udall as it passed through. Only time will tell if there is damage to other communities throughout Oklahoma and Kansas. May God bless everyone affected by this devastating event. This is Martin Umansky reporting for Cake TV. Stay tuned. We will bring you more information as soon as we get it. When the television returned to its regularly scheduled programming, I felt like crying. I was scared for the people of Udall. I remembered what Daddy had told Mama the night before, that he worked with a man who lived in Udall with his family. I hoped Daddy's friend was okay. And while I knew it was selfish, I was glad that the storm had gone around our little house in Cheney the night before. When Daddy came home from work, he had a report for Mama. He said, "My buddy Lester Sweet said he had just settled into bed when the house cracked open. He told his wife they were in for it, and he shoved her and the kids under their bed. He said they could hardly breathe. It was like being in a vacuum, and the noise was so loud it echoed. When it was over, they opened their bedroom door, and the rest of their house was gone." Les told me that the tornado hit the telephone office at about 10:30 that night, and Mary Taylor, the operator, died at her switchboard, crushed. "I've got to go help June. There is a lot more damage, and God knows how many other people are hurt or dead. The Salvation Army and the Red Cross are asking for volunteers to help clean up and salvage what can be. Boeing has given us tomorrow off to go help, Daddy said. I noticed Daddy kept wiping tears out of his eyes while he was telling Mama what he knew. Daddy did not go back to work the next day. He and his friends, Pete Compton and Galen Parsons, went to Udall. Daddy, Mr. Parsons, and Mr. Compton didn't come home that night. Daddy called on the telephone to say they were going to stay for as many days as they were needed to help the folks. The next day, Mama and Mrs. Parsons loaded all of us kids into the car and drove to Udall. It was about 55 miles from Cheney. It took 2 full hours to get there. They said they were looking for Daddy and Mr. Parsons. I thought Mama still looked scared from the night of the storm. As we got near to the town, Mama had to keep swerving the car to avoid big chunks of highway surfaces that were ripped out of the ground. Once we got to Udall, Mama began driving up and down the dirt streets. Most of them had already been cleaned up. There were very few buildings left in the town. I saw a big electric refrigerator wrapped around a tree stump and a twisted pickup truck that had been tossed onto the second floor of a ruined brick house. Mama pointed out the elementary school. Its roof had collapsed and only one wall was left standing. All of the boards and bricks and most of the roof lay inside the building. Another pickup truck was wrapped around a tree, stripped of everything but its frame and tires. It was mangled almost beyond recognition. There was rubble from houses, twisted trees, furniture, and household items scattered everywhere we looked. I saw a bathtub hanging from its pipes that had once been on the second floor of a house. It was just hanging there, swaying in the gentle breeze. People were crying and standing around everywhere. Some were helping clear away what remained of the buildings. Mama said they were in shock from the loss caused by the tornado. Mama never could find Daddy, and a policeman asked her to leave town. He said, "Ma'am, we are doing our best to get things cleaned up here. I am sure your man is helping out. No telling what he has had to do, and we have no way of contacting him. You go on home now and wait for him to come home." Mama knew that the policeman was right, so she drove back to Cheney. Phyllis and I whispered quietly in the back seat of the car about all that we had seen.